All right. Now we're good.
Okay. Very good. So the agenda tonight will be at 6:30, the call to order and approval of the minutes of April 27th. No A&Rs, right?
No.
Okay. So at 6:35, we have a request for a waiver of site plan of 138 Main Street, the Granite Group. The applicant requests a waiver of site plan to operate a wholesale retail plumbing supply house within the existing building and to install a fence on the existing paved area to separate the loading dock and storage areas from the public parking spaces. After that, we'll have the town plan update, then old and new business, and then adjournment. Has everyone had the opportunity to review the minutes of April 27th?
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions or comments? If not, I'll accept a motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
So moved. Joe?
Lou, thank you. A second?
Second, Chris?
Okay, Chris, thank you. Sue, how do you vote?
Yes.
Was that a yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Chris, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
I think I heard a yes there. Mike?
Yes.
Jeff?
Muted.
Yes.
Russ?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Very good. Gene, do you want to explain what's going on with the site plan waiver request?
Yes, I will. With us this evening, we have Joe Goff, and he's the treasurer of the Granite Group. And they are planning to locate in the former Paoletti's at 138 Main Street. So as you are probably all aware, this building's been empty since 2016 when very suddenly Paoletti's unfortunately closed their market. And they've been trying, the property's been sold, and they've been trying to find a tenant for some time. And I've been working with Joe for maybe about the past month. They had an interest in moving into the property to operate their wholesale retail plumbing supply house. And the only exterior changes proposed will be the fence, which will separate the rear loading dock area from the parking area, and the employees will park behind the fence. He's provided us with a screenshot of what the fence would look like. It's your typical vinyl fence. However, the gate would be the chain link fence with the privacy slats put in. And the reason for this is they need to store some larger things like propane tanks and oil tanks. No chemicals, but kind of larger supplies. So this was submitted to staff, and all of our comments were received. No one really had any concerns. The fire department, I sent you an email this morning, indicated they need to have a Knox box put on the fence, and I've spoken to Joe about that, and he's willing to do that. Also, Conservation said that he needed to file for a letter permit to dig the post holes to install the fence. Other than that, no concerns were noted, and I would recommend the board grant the waiver of site plan requested since there are really no changes to the traffic flow or parking lot. But I would recommend that all other permits be obtained, all other state and local zoning bylaws, building codes and regulations be adhered to, necessary plans obviously to the building and fire department to be approved, and that the parking lot should be restriped prior to opening. And Joe is here. He can explain a little bit about his company and answer any questions that you have.
Great. Thank you very much, Gene. Joe, do you want to go ahead?
Sure. Thank you very much. Just to give you a brief background, the Granite Group was founded in 1998 on the merger of two older plumbing supply houses, Central Supply in Worcester, which was started in 1901, and Capital Plumbing and Heating Supply in Concord, New Hampshire, which was started in 1935. At the time of the merger, there were 16 branches, 16 locations around New England. Sturbridge will be our 46th, and we cover all of the New England states. Closest branch right now to Sturbridge is the one in Worcester that started in 1901, and we have one in West Hartford, Connecticut. So Sturbridge is a sweet spot for us. We choose our locations mostly from places that our customers ask us to come to. So we've had requests from people in the Sturbridge and west of there to come to that area so they don't have to come into Worcester to get their supplies. We basically bring it in a box and sell it in a box. We don't do anything to it. We don't manufacture. We don't make any changes to any of the products. We sell basically anything that carries water or provides heat. Our main plumbing line is Kohler fixtures. We sell Weil McLean boilers and Baderis boilers, and Mitsubishi mini splits are the major lines that we work with. The location in Sturbridge would be one of our smaller locations. We refer to it as an on-the-go, kind of a place where you can come in, pick something up off a supermarket-style shelf, bring it to a checkout counter, and be on your way. Typical hours are 6:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon, and our business tends to bunch in the 6:30 to 8 o'clock range as plumbers come in to get their supplies for the day. A little bit around noontime as they break and figure out what they need for the afternoon. Depending on the location, sometimes just before closing, but the bulk of the business is in those times. Typically, we would have in a branch of this size no more than 4 or 5 customers in there at any one time, and we expect that we'll have 3 employees on site during business hours, and it's a Monday through Friday operation. I think that's as brief as I can make it.
Very good, Joe. Thank you. You broke up a little bit. Did you say that one of the original companies was Central Supply?
Central Supply in Worcester, yes.
Yeah. My great aunt worked there for years. In fact, she was one of the stockholders when it was sold out of the original family, I think, quite a while ago. She died several years ago when she was in her 90s. Her name was Sarah Burke, but she worked there for years.
I've seen her name on some of the old documents.
Right. Yes, she's my great aunt.
Small world. Small
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
Okay. Sue, do you have any questions?
I just have a question about the outdoor storage.
Mm-hmm.
It says, how some products are too large in nature to be stored in the building. What are you talking about as far as the outside storage?
It'll be mostly things like a couple of propane tanks, which can be, depending on the size, as you know, can be as big as a submarine when you deal with an underground tank. Oil tanks, 250-gallon oil tanks that you typically see in a basement. Possibly some plastic pipe, and that'd be about it. Everything else gets stored inside.
Will everything stored outside be below the fence level?
Yes.
So you won't see it from the road?
Should not see it. Well, the gate will be open during the day.
Right. Right.
So, but yes.
And just a question, just interested. Why do you need a chain link fence with slats instead of the vinyl gate?
Because we need somewhere between a 16 and 20-foot opening, and vinyl just doesn't work in anything that big. So we have to provide for our truck. We have a tractor trailer that comes in every day to provide material. So we have to provide for that, and we have to provide for the fire department to be able to get their stuff in there also.
Okay, so it'd be one big gate. That'll be.
It'll be. We're working with the fence company now on what makes sense there. It's either going to be a double gated, double doored swing gate,
Yeah.
or one of those sliding gates. Not clear on that yet.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sue. Chris, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay, great. Dane?
Thank you. Yes, I do. Thank you, Joe. I'm excited to see this building be used. It's been empty for too long. I've just got a couple of quick questions. On the site plan, it looks like there are 3 parallel parking spaces up against that front island along the roadway. And they look like they're definitely over the property line in the street right away. I don't think there's any objection that those continue to be used as they are. There's no need to make any changes to the site plan layout. But I don't think that those 3 spaces can be counted towards the spaces that are required. Obviously, you still have a lot of other spaces to the rear behind the fence that you can just reallocate those 3 somewhere else. But just for keeping things clean for the file, I think that would be a bit weird.
I think 4 there.
I'm sorry, Charlie?
There's 4.
The 4, yeah, 17, 18, 19.
All right, thank you.
Are there 4, 12, 13, 14, and 15?
Yes.
Are those ones you're talking about?
Yeah, those parallel spaces, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Which one you were talking about? 12, 13, 14, 15?
Yeah.
Let me pull the plan
Do
up.
you want me to put it up on the screen? Sure. Yeah, so it's 12, 13, 14, and 15 there in the front, Janae. If you
There
could
they
just
are,
move your cursor there.
Yeah, okay. As long as we're all talking the same place, just wanted to be sure.
We are. I apologize. I misspoke and said there were 3 there.
That's right. So you don't feel they can be counted because they're in the state right away?
I think it would be beyond the purview of the planning board to allow somebody to use the state's land to accommodate their parking count.
So
We've done that in the past, Dave.
Right, we have. So I was just going to say that. So on Route 131, we have
Did you get a
many
waiver from
cases.
the state to do that?
So we have had conversations with Mass DOT about the parking in the right-of-way along there. So the only time that they require a new permit from them is if there's any new landscaping proposed within the right-of-way or any change to the layout. When there's no changes, they don't require any change to the access permit, and the parking can remain.
Sure. And in eventual, this probably will never happen, the state widens the roadway and those spaces get obliterated.
Yeah, so we just redid that roadway within the past 10 years and did widen it and add the sidewalk. So I don't really think we're at too much of a risk, but you're absolutely right. They can be obliterated by the state. But if you look at where Teddy G's is now, that whole front row of parking is all within the state right-of-way. Almost every business along there, including Matt Russo's law office, a lot of the businesses along there, the front parking is within the right-of-way.
All right, that's fine with me if there's precedent. I don't want to make a federal case out of it, and I didn't want to change the layout of the site anyway. I just wanted the accounting to make sense on the file, but that's fine.
All right, thank you, Dave.
One other question I had, the larger equipment for submarines that get delivered to the rear of the site, they come in on larger vehicles, I'm sure. Would that require any crazy backing up maneuvers on this pretty busy roadway, or can a truck get in there and circulate?
No, a truck should be able to come in and circulate. The daily truck will come in through the gate, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have to jackknife into that loading dock. And the others, actually, the propane tanks come in on a smaller truck, so there shouldn't be any issue with that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dane. Mike?
No question. No.
Okay, thanks. Jeff?
No questions.
Russ?
No questions. Welcome to town, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Great. And I have no questions. Very good. Thank you. So can we have a motion then to grant the waiver of site plan with the 4 conditions that Shane has mentioned?
Approved, Jeff. So moved, Russell.
Jeff and Russell second. Okay.
Oh.
Very good. Sue, how do you vote?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Dane?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Russ?
Yes.
I vote yes. Very good. Joe, welcome.
Thank you very much. And if I could just make one comment, Jean has been terrific to work with. She's really helped me through the process, and this has been a great resource. So I appreciate that. You should probably know that.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the town planners update.
Yes, I don't have too much for you this evening. I can let you know that we did have our pre-construction meeting for the New England Cold facility, and they will be breaking ground on May 21st. I sent you actually all an invitation to the groundbreaking ceremony today. If anyone would like to attend, it's again the 21st at 10 a.m. And then this coming Thursday, I actually have the pre-construction meeting for 90 Charlton Road, the cold storage facility. So we'll be meeting up there with staff, and I'll be going out to inspect the erosion control so that they can begin construction there. Site work will start first, obviously, before they are ready for their building permit. And then our next meeting is May 25th. We'll have the Fisk Hill subdivision. They will be asking for another continuation. They're still working with Mass DOT and trying to finalize some of the conservation issues. We are expecting some revised plans from them in a couple of weeks, but we won't have anything reviewed in time for the 25th. So I will contact Mr. Barnes. He's the abutter that's been on every meeting, and just let him know so that, he's welcome to join the meeting again, but just in case he has something else that he'd rather do, I'll let him know we'll be continuing that. And then we'll have the Noble Energy continuation of the public hearing. I should have a peer review report tomorrow. I have all of the staff comments, and I will be sending all of that to Noble and to the board as soon as I have it. And we'll see if we can conclude on the 25th or if we'll need to continue one more time. So there's a lot to review there with the traffic. And that is really all I have.
Very good. Thank you very much, Jean. Okay, we'll move on to old and new business. Sue, do you have any old or new business?
No, I do not.
Great. Chris?
Nothing for me.
Okay, thank you. Dane?
Nope. I just wanted to thank Gene for sending a great letter to the DOT about the Charlton Distribution Center traffic. I thought that was well done.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Mike?
None. No, Charlie.
Jeff?
Nothing, Charlie.
Okay, thanks. Russ?
Nope, all set, Charlie, thank you.
And I'm all set. Very good. I guess we can just have a motion to adjourn and we'll be all set.
So moved, Russell?
Russ, thank you. A
Second, Sue?
Sue, thank you. Sue, how do you vote?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Russ?
Yes.
And I vote yes. And Joe, since you're still on here, this picture behind me belonged to Sadie's brother. So I just thought a little bit of interest since you saw her name.
And one of the guys that was an owner with him, I worked with for the first, 10 years or so that I was at Central Supply.
Wow, that's fascinating. Great.
Dick Curran.
Right.
So yeah, it is truly a small world, and we're happy to be in Sturbridge as part of it.
We're very happy to have you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time tonight. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Night.
bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.